Mpani benya kasa so de a no nwotwe ebo paamu a abusua ye bekọ na yetie nsem a mampani ede ma ye buro nyai mu covid-19 ho nhyehyeye sabiri a yese omicron Tanzania bedu ewo mayi mu se ye kase omicron no wa free baby a wo free na ebibremu wadu Ghana so ebia ba bedu ase ya abusua na wo se esiesie ye ho boaboa ye ho ne yankodi buro nya na anwia mati ni suo Evisa yade na free day 1 year ka se covid-19 ya tiesi ewiase nyina Ghana kamu bie no covid-19 ye di ka ba ye no omusio na yade na ehu na yade na ehu ewo ma yesio second wave anu so ehu afedi ese third wave na third wave ni de ehu chane aka nyina enti nanke ka se third wave nu e ba ye ni ehu a ye behu eni se ne yese fourth wave so asa unity amembi so abushia de ne wo man Ghana mu so ebia bedu wo mayimu na mpanimfo hwehwe mu kire se dodo a wohu ni nyina eye boni a bofra kwantuo mu eba na ne airport ho no mo ani a ye hwehwe mu ni atumi ehu na ne abaye a yese ne hu ehu omicron no twanya ye nyina Ghana ni bi efa so no wo ne ho ban ede afiri hu a ye meka sesa yade na tie sikrom atie chesa tie tese wo mayimu ede how kase ebreye no ena nwumre bani ni sujumade so abusua ye hwe na ye hwe nipa bi so a wonum se watete kuo ewo mayimu ebi so se de crusade for Christ ana mo so omudi ne ye de ekuo bi a wo mo se crusade for Christ omunyi ntum se sa covid-19 vaccination no we chita for beje reasons no and say ye kan nyina so na bushia oman no ayetimu no ye womra ye de ye adwuma ye wonhyehyeye ye fa empane wo ho se ye hwa fimpinu ane edumienu Public Health Act no a ye hyehye ye no a ekire edadi pefe kire ebra ewo se ye vaccination bi se ya ye timi hye nipa se ewo se vaccination no wo vaccinate emra no mu ewom ye kire emra ye tumi gina so kase wumpo ebribidu na yehu se yade no yade ebetumi asa nipa yade de how beba ene yetumi ye no wo hye se wumpo wo beje ebi so hye se emra nipa fa hudie wuntumi nyire obi twan se chinjin achi a kese wo se woje mpane no egu widie baby a yade na duru ni baby ekeka ko nyina no ene se wo manhudo obi so a abutuama ye no ohye restaurant kwa be wura honom se okotwaduane adia just covid-19 card no wo de kire se wo vaccination no se ye tu ene wo se wo jab no se tu a waji ni nyina se ye ba ko waji ni nyina wo mokoro muji boosters eka ho wo mu nyina wo honom enti oman Ghana mu no ye dum pempenso se wo se ye ohye emma nwuma bi mu empanimfo ede nwuma na no tumi kase wonwo covid-19 mpanie ni bia ye mawura ha ana wo card afa wo card no ekire se MPP amanyoko no wo hyiamu a wo beko edefiada no yese ne ade anesefo na etina kwa na no wo ya no wabo na wo ye bwadwen yiri twan se me nwode a ene park no nwura so ena Advocate for Christ Ghana tiedino Advocate for Christ Ghana wo mo se nwohye wo mo nwo obi antumi mfo so wonwo abusua nwumre bani ni sujumade so ye hwe ebra yetumi yiri nipa se ebo wo ho ban na bo nipa afoforo a atwa wo ho ahia no so mo ban ene bra nipa no sutumi ka se ye me na mede me ho enti ne me pe na me ye me na mede mapomu den covid-19 ni yade ebetumi aka se me na mede me ho enti me ka se me nwa a wuntumi nhye me ana sa ye bo afoforo mo banya wo nko enti ntumi nka se eye me nko a na mede me ho enti mpa na me wo ene ye behu sunsun ye da mede me ho ene me bo afoforo ho bai ensonson ye edantamu ewo mram omo so omode kokoto ne nsonson ye ben ene dam na abushia eduru ne sabri ya asema ye kan ne se yade nipa bebre wawu ewo yade hu amam bebre wo hono mo nipa bebre wu Ghana so nipa bebre afiri mu ewo covid-19 no ho eti wo ti ase ne ye kase wei ne nhyehyɛ ya ye de boban ye beye yi a se wo consensus bi a wo raise say e bi a munchire ye mu menti we yase e no wo ho na emom wo abebo dawuro na manye e na memenye e so abusua wo de kona kohwe se ne wono de animu a wo se wo bo dawuro mu obi a anye mpane no kona kohwe wawo kona kohwe wono wawo na no NDC amanyoko no communications officers amija mfia semo a wo kan se na wuntumi nche obi a NDC amanyoko no ne wodi animu wotu frank ama wa fimpi no ene aduonu abatuo no ne NDC amanyoko no wotu frank adema wa fimpi no ene aduonu mampani dada John Dramani Mahama ekowo ne de no asem odi tu dwane se NDC achitaafo ni nyina da monko na monkowo mpane ni bi obi a nko wo sane beye ode bebo ne ho bai wode be se wo kan yempo de yese ma wo eso hwe nya me na me gira hayi ma wo hwe nya me enti wo de wo abotu fie wo a wo se wo bi ti radio so no wo kan se o na ni ye de be kokko to ne nya o hye wo no wo masa wo no wo enti so de wo nwa ne na mo abusia anwumre yesi adwane ye hwe adesua ye wom mampani sem ode tu yanim ene anwumre yi na afa ye wie a ye ne ekuku da mapomudin mu adwumayefo ye ne a lawyer for so atwetwe nkomo na advocate for Christ Ghana for so wakire ye senti a wo se omo campaign se ma obi anwo ye dem live wo Facebook wo Adom 106.3 FM abusia betumi ahwe live wadwenche so de bi ato ebresem ni akenkan e de amawo YouTube so Adom 106.3 FM yedem live wo honomo ena mu aseda yedem Franco Trading Enterprise wo bo ye chidom eni ebronya so opesa wo demo eyede wo pesa wo demo e ho cherie wo mpesa wo demo obi beba ho ne yehwebanim ne yehwenan fifire sa ni pa kona kwaje Franco air conditioner obi so sister na de ebronya imu na wo pe mobile phone ye fo a no wako Franco Trading Enterprise bronya de wa hyase wo wone ma no occasion bia no wo promotion a wo ye e de so amanfo asene eti se enei se ye air conditioner e na wo pe se ye TV a TV ni ye Franco TV eni da ho se kre eni ya wo computer so e wo ho no eni na accessories na wo hia bia wo benya bi mobile phones no so de free tete okitam dendene wo hwehwe wachi akwan a wone Roxy Cinema ene di animhwe e wo adabraka Papa Franco say so ko Facebook a Franco Trading Enterprise wonu madwoso na more than 100,000 likes e wo ho no mo no ye wo alomo bitters e twahia nyina mu kenkon eno no alomo bitters ne nom enye den say ye duro ena DBS roofing sheet so eta ye chire abusia yenko mampani na nado ye hyasia no na chese ensem a enanwumre wo de magana de hye nyina fellow Ghanaians eno ana eba so emidin e de akua boachewa Adom.
Fellow Ghanaians, good evening. It has been some time since I last came into your homes on a matter that has grabbed not only our attention, but that of every country in the world. However, as Christmas approaches, with its attendant charged activities, and with an expected influx of visitors, it is important that I come back into your homes to provide an update on what government is doing to combat the pandemic and what is expected of you the Ghanaian people in this season. When I delivered the last update, I indicated that in spite of the efforts to rid the nation of COVID-19, the fight was far from over, as we began to experience a third wave of COVID-19 infections, driven largely by the Delta variant. The data tells us that the months of August and September in particular were the most devastating. Some 310 lives were lost to the virus in those 2 months alone, representing a quarter of the cumulative deaths from the virus since we recorded our first case in March 2020. In the months of October and November, a consistent decline in infection rates occurred, and mercifully, and by the grace of God, this has continued right into early December. As of Sunday, 12th December, some 2,042,778 tests have been conducted, out of which 131,911 positive cases have been recorded. 129,683 persons have recovered, meaning that presently the number of active cases, that is the number of people with the virus, stands at 973 persons. Inasmuch as this represents some degree of good news, we have sadly had 1,255 dying from COVID-19. The current data suggests quite a favorable COVID-19 situation prevailing in Ghana. And I say this only to encourage each one of us to continue to be vigilant and adhere to the enhanced hygiene protocols which have served us so well so far. 3 regions, i.e. Ashanti, Greater Accra, and Volta, have the bulk of infections. 7 regions have single-digit infections, and 6 regions, that is Ahafo, Northeast, Uti, Savannah, Upper West, and Western North, at the moment, have 0 active cases. We must do everything possible, at the very least, to maintain this situation, especially as the festive season approaches. Whilst these numbers should normally provide us with some comfort as far as the virus is concerned, I'm a firm believer in the oft-cited adage that it is better to be safe than sorry. We're expecting in this month of Christmas a large number of visitors, overseas Ghanaians and foreigners, into the country, with the Immigration Service doing a yeoman's job by intercepting many foreign nationals trying to enter the country through unapproved routes. The government's concern has been to limit the importation of the virus through the Kotoka International Airport. As things stand, international passengers arriving at Kotoka constitute the highest source of infections in the country, leading us to take drastic measures recently to prevent the importation of the virus from increasing the numbers of infections in the country. The Ghana Health Service tells us that an overwhelming majority, that is 75% of the positive cases recorded at Kotoka, have come from passengers who are not vaccinated. Beginning yesterday, Tuesday, 14th December, government has decided that all visitors coming to Ghana have to be fully vaccinated. Furthermore, all persons seeking to travel outside the country must also be fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated passengers coming to Ghana must, in addition, be in possession of a negative PCR test of not more than 72 hours, and also take a mandatory COVID test upon arrival at the airport. Children aged 5 to 12 will not pay for the test. Any passenger testing positive at the airport will be kept in isolation at a designated isolation facility, and non-Ghanaian will receive treatment at his or her own cost. Communications have been duly sent to all airlines flying into Ghana of the imposition of a $3,500 fine for each unvaccinated passenger that is allowed to board a flight into the country. Unvaccinated Ghanaians and residents in Ghana who departed the country before 14th December and who returned by 28th December will be offered vaccination on arrival at the airport. Further details will be provided by the Ghana Health Service. These are stringent measures, I know, but the benefits far outweigh the negatives. As your president, it is my duty to protect lives and livelihoods. The ravages of COVID-19 have been devastating on our economy, and I'm determined to return us to our normal way of life as quickly as possible by helping to defeat the pandemic. Fellow Ghanaians, as I indicated at the outset, the month of December elicits naturally an increase in the number of social gatherings in the country. I know many of you have planned either to host or attend a number of gatherings, such as religious events and activities, funerals, weddings, concerts, musical shows, festivals, anniversary, sporting events, family gatherings, and parties. Nonetheless, we should be guided by what transpired last Christmas, where there was a sharp spike in the number of COVID infection cases and deaths in the immediate months of January and February 2021. We should avoid the repetition of such a scenario after this year's celebration. We do so by ensuring that social events are held in open spaces, ensuring that attendees wear masks, ensuring that social distancing is observed, observing enhanced hygiene protocols such as hand washing and the use of sanitizers, and encouraging attendees as much as possible to come vaccinated. In as much as our active cases are now relatively low, the wearing of masks, unfortunately, remains low, and compliance with the safety protocols is still problematic. Whilst government does its part to secure the necessary numbers of vaccines to help vaccinate all Ghanaians, we cannot afford to disregard the social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing, and enhanced hygiene protocols that has brought us this far. They must continue to be a part and parcel of our daily lives and routines. Getting the jab is the best route out of the pandemic because, according to WHO, it reduces the risk of death, hospitalization, and the spread of the virus. It is for this reason that we have committed ourselves to vaccinating some 20 million Ghanaians, that is the entire adult population, by the end of the year. After the start of an impressive vaccination drive in March this year, we were confronted with vaccine supply constraints and disruptions at the global level. Fortunately, in recent months, the supply situation has improved considerably, And we estimate that by the end of December, we would have secured a total of some 26 million doses. Indeed, as of yesterday, Tuesday, 14th December, the Ghana Health Service has taken delivery of 17,736,710 vaccine doses. We are expecting an additional 8,529,090 doses by the end of the year. We have enough vaccines in the system. So, my fellow Ghanaians, I encourage each and every one of you to take advantage of this and get vaccinated. So far, we've been able to administer only 6,420,973 doses out of the 17.7 million we have at our disposal. Let me state as clearly as I can, the vaccines are safe. They will not harm you. They will protect you and your family. Contrary to the mischief being peddled by some, getting vaccinated will not cause you to vote for the MPP in the 2024 elections if you do not want to. This is an outrageous claim. Vaccination cannot change your political preferences. That is not its purpose. There are significant quantities of vaccines deployed in every corner of the country. We have thus declared the month of December as Vaccination Month, and we are rolling out an aggressive campaign of vaccination so that as many Ghanaians as possible have the opportunity to be vaccinated. It is a race against time, but we're determined to accomplish it. We continue to make steady progress in our quest to manufacture vaccines domestically. 2 days ago, on Monday, I was in Luxembourg, where I held discussions with the President of the European Investment Bank, Herna Werner Hoyer, on Ghana's COVID-19 response plan. An 82.5 million euro facility has been approved for Ghana by the bank for use in the effort to strengthen healthcare delivery and the provision of specialist medical equipment and medicines across the country. Government has set aside 20 million euros of this to establish the National Vaccine Institute, which will supervise the domestic production of COVID-19 and other vaccines, led by the private sector and the business community. To my fellow Ghanaians living along the borders of our nation, I know of the difficulties occasioned you by the closure of our borders. As you know, the decision to close our borders, which are a source of livelihoods to many, was necessary because we wanted to limit the importation of the virus into the country. We're monitoring the level of threat of the disease and ongoing vaccinations in our neighboring countries. And as soon as we are satisfied that it is safe to do so, the borders will be open. Until then, I believe this is not the right time to reopen our land borders, especially as we're determined to prevent a fourth wave. And as such, they will remain closed until further notice. Government has beefed up its response capability and capacity to deal with the virus should we encounter an upsurge in infections. Over time, we have expanded our healthcare infrastructure, including oxygen supply and reach, particularly with respect to treating and testing centers, and the training of health professionals across the country in the care of severe and critically ill persons. However, our best bet in the fight remains adhering to the enhanced hygiene, social distancing, and mask-wearing protocols, and getting vaccinated. In Adom, Yensaka corona drono bebre woyamamu bebia. Omunchenia ebiru me yakeka. Boni bia eni adrono ho. Enti misramu obia nko hospital abeno. Ana bebia ya wo panel no. Na onko wo panel no bi. Eno ene bebo ye ho ban bo nyamremu. Me ma awo ye de nke akawo so afi so mu koso indi sise ya e farmers eni ye sahohoro no ho me ma me nyina afisiapa anyame me mo dromo woni ne se corona tufa pi no ya manami efia he ye kabua no ni meko he if one could bet to find no one me pafai me farm aya hospital me benkele alo hemi agbo to find ni ay bu to find na me babu he bunya na mi fatalo mbi wogbo no ehwebo hu eko nye ya no ni nye wo mask ke woni me fomo ni hanye afi eya ni ibani nawo. Let us choose to live and act responsibly throughout the Christmas festivities, and remember that our actions or inactions will either help to end the pandemic at a much faster rate or continue to spread the virus in the country. I, on my part, will do everything possible to protect lives and livelihoods and return our nation to normalcy. It is possible, and the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is determined to realize this goal as quickly as possible. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention and have a good night.
Abusia mampani na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ena yatenene ewo COVID-19 eye eho enhyehyɛ ya mpanimfo ede agu akwan mu sabri ya yebe koburo nyamu enhyehyɛ ya hodo ya ebomu ena mampani ede ho nsem nyina atudwa no wo hwɛ live wo Facebook a wote ne hono na enhyemu kakra ya yede eba efa sa COVID-19 enhyehyɛ ye no eho ne mampani eka ye no yemfa ba komienu enhyemu emra na yempem enkoyanimu ewo ho a mampani sama wode atudwa fa ehyehyeye a ewo sa Ghana ni de hye bia edi so ewo bronyai emuo no edi kan wode atudwa se yeka se yebedi bronya ewo mayimu a obia nim se bronya no mu eye bra eniema nyina hyew bibia ekosoro ne ntem so na bronyai ebia abeje ahwohwo wo fie ebia abeye bibi ewo fie ne opese Ghana fo nyina kaye ne se COVID-19 no eda so ewo honomo ya se wi Ghana ye nkontabu a efiri ahini me bosome ebesi obubu bosome no mu no wose nkontabu no nege ya se ohwe COVID-19 ne nkenkaye mu a eniema akofo ada ama enei si yeka active cases a yebo ewo mayimu anase nipa yade ni bi ehyehye bo ho a ewo nipa henkro aduoson ene miensa 973 ena yade no yebeka say ye active cases a ebuye wo mayimu nipa wonam yade no so efri mu efri bra yade yi ebebo ade ewo mayi mu efri 2019 ebewiye no nipa 1255 nipa pem ahanu ene aduonum enum eno a wonam yade yi so ahweto anananom nsiedo apemu yatra pem yatra 1255 sesei mantema hodo amampani chese yade no wo primu dententende ekosoro wo ho asante mantem enkramantem ha ena frau mantem Ashanti region sani omka no greater Ashanti se ho ena enkran ena frau mantem voter regions miensa ena yade no ekosoro pa ewo ho na mampani chem sa nhwehwemu akoso amena beto dwase yade no nipa wodi bi efram no ne bo mu ayeye nhwehwemu a yehu se yade wo bie no emu ohanche mu aduoson enum eye bone a ye wanye covid-19 empane no 75% nipa wo beba na yade no wanya bie no 75% ye vaccinate won enu nti embanimfo ahwo ne se wontumi nya nwum saa nti se nhyehyeye ne se obi biada obefram no ne se wo ba omayimu no wo se covid-19 empane no obeba na ni nyina wawo wonwo ye so a ene obeduru omayimu a wiemhye gina bie ho no mo a kotoka ho no mo a ene wo se wo bie na se ye wo ba so na ye nhwehwemu no ne yehu se yade no wanya bi a wo ye Ghana ni a ene empanimfo de obekọ ayarehwe ene quarantine ene ye kanu no ye de obekọ akoto ho ohwemu ne enema e wose ye nyina no mpanimfo beye na emom se womfiri Ghana ha na wo beduru airport ho ne yehu se wanya yade ni bi na se ebe quarantine wa eka bi e wo ho no wo sa nipa no ena wo chese wo befa wiemhyen bia so a wiemhyen bia wodi obi ana nipa betenemu ede waba Ghana ha sei ne ye behwe na nipa no omum vaccinate ya no nwopane ni bi so no sa wiemhyen kro no mbebo ne ka sika dollar no empemiensa ahenum $3,500 abusuya beba beto aso ma menko ahoma so yenhyen komotwetwe no ase na yene Dr. Justice Jansen General Secretary Emma Ghana Medical Association ntwetwe nkomo mampani na de ne de abetudwai ne Ghana Medical Association so ewo ma Ghana fo nyina buronya ya ewura mu enema a wagidi yese Ghana fo ye betumi aboa no Dr. Afishiapa o
asenkomete menia
boko de
Adom hoye
ai emu ye hyehye na ne yete doctor nkapa sese dia se emu adwo kakranti wo ya underground o ya underground adwuma wo hu
ye gusu ye adwuma
ye gususo ye chese ye tokoso damase ewo eosomo a mode asom covid-19 ye free bre yi ni ti apomdin adwuma yefo ye ma ye te sa term se frontline workers adwuma amaye no Ghana for ye koswa edamase ebomabaso ye gidi ye sebronya ni na chi so no mode ahoden ebeye adwuma no esa doctor sese nkontabu na mampani adibi atudwa no wache nipa dodo as ye beka se yade na ebi hyehye wo ho active cases no nipa yade no eba ye wonam so from day 1 wahwe won kwa 1255 ene active cases enso ye 973 no doctor ebetumi aka se eniema ye encouraging na se still na wose yire yetamu
no kra wo mu ne de omampani kan se o hwa edum pempenso bi wo afenimu a na numbers na kwosoro na ya hwe nipa bebre ni ade na sesei no se de okano no na se numbers na yesenka enye hu bebre na mum ogina so de ahye nkran se yenyina yemia yeni na bronya bebe yenhwe ho so ye yende nhyehyɛ ne so yende vaccine ne ade na se ba se ye party ne ho keka ho a de se ye titi ye mu in terms of physical distancing ye be ho ye nsa ne ade ne nyina yenhwe na yendi so na yentimi ntu yare na se enti o man no if you say sa asem no de o man pani aka ne yie pa aka yen ya yɛwɔ ɔman no mu yɛbɛhwɛ sɛnea yɛbɛhwɛ ɛho so yie ɛsiane sɛ wohwɛ yɛ data ne yɛ statistics a yɛnya no a aberɛ biara yɛdi bronya ne wie a ɔho sɛ cases ne kɔ soro ɛna ɔkaa sɛ last year yɛdi bronya de bɛwura January February mu no yɛ cases ne kɔ soro wɔn a ɛwu yɛ so kɔ soro enti yɛdu mpɛmpɛnso bi a bosome wei deɛ learning from history no ɛsɛ yɛhwɛ yɛn ho so yie na yɛtumi ɛbɔ yɛn ho ban na numbers no ankɔ soro bebree sɛnea ɔmampanin kan no yɛsi ɔman panin anaasɛ yɛsi ɔman n'ani so ne sɛ cases na ɛbɛfi aburokyire bɛba a yɛde bɛka yɛ deɛ ho ama yɛ numbers na akɔ soro no ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔmo si ano ti na ɔmo de nhyehyɛeɛ bi a emu ɔden they are stringent abɛtena Kotoka International Airport a na kyerɛ sɛ ansa ɔbɛba no ɛsɛ making sure sɛ wabɔ vaccine ohun ɔden na yɛ reduce risk and the numbers of patients and our potential patients on ɔmbɛfo planes abɛbɛdu Ghana nti wohwɛ a na nka yɛabɔ ɛho mbɔden but the race is not over ɛsɛ yɛpushi na yɛkɔ yɛnim ɛnkyɛ yɛyɛ na variant foforɔ asan ba yɛfrɛ no Omicron yi yɛhu bi wɔ ɔman yi mu na ɛno deɛ yɛhu wɔ ne ho ne sɛ it is highly transmissible kyerɛ sɛ sane ntɛmtɛm from one person to the other no nti once a yɛhu Omicron bi wɔ yɛ man yi mu no na no so tumi spread ntɛmtɛm wohwɛ sɛnea ɛyɛ wɔ Europe ne adeɛ no a yɛbɔ yɛn ho ban a na saa nsunsuanso no ne nyinaa nyame yɛ adom a ɛbɛfiri yɛ so
sɛnea woka Omicron yasɛm ne sɛnea mpanimfoɔ mame ate sɛ ne ho ehu nanka data yi ba yɛ na yɛnim sɛ o yɛse ɛno na ehu ba Omicron yi so ne sɛ ɔno no suban no wotwa data ne deɛ a ne kyɛ sɛ ehu ankasa eti nka wei no ne afie twa mu na ɛwɔ hɔ no mu pa na ano nya den sɛ wei no yɛdi buro nya ne wie yɛ amanfo yɛ parties nkakra ne yɛhu ne yɛsi yɛ eti doctor Sabri ɛwɔ se yɛka ne sɛ o wobɛtumi ayɛ o parties ne mayi na emu munya careful anaasɛ activities a nansɛntam ne ma yɛnyɛ se yɛbɛka sɛ o dodoɔ ɔkɔbɔdwa akɔyɛ nhyiamu musical concerts ahoroɔ ɛne crusades ahoroɔ no ɛwɔ se yɛka sɛ yɛnkɔyɛ ne yɛnyɛ careful anaasɛ ɛnka wɔ se yɛtwentwɛ so kakra
sɛnea akɔɛ no ɔmampanin akasa na sɛbio ɔmampanin kasa na kyerɛ sɛ yɛsɛ nka ɔpanin dwaeɛ a na nso asa ɛsei a wakasa yi yɛnim sɛ health service so egu so ɛyɛ adwuma ɛna yɛkɔ yɛnim yaa deɛ yɛbɛmonitor situation no nti sɛ biribi sesa definitely ɛsɛ sɛ rules no yɛhyɛ mu kena sɛnea yɛayɛ wɔ airport yi obiara nim sɛnea nneɛma bɛyɛ efi ɔkyena ɛkɔ we all hope for the best nti no before sɛ deɛ ɔmampanin de ato dwa no yɛn nyinaa yɛndi so na yɛnhwɛ yɛn ho so yie yɛyɛ ne saa ɛbɛboa ma yɛfi saa pandemic yi mu as a country but ɛno akyi no menim sɛ health service so mmɔntensa ne deɛ sɛnea nneɛma bɛkɔ no ɛbɛma ɔmo so deɛ ɛfɛ sɛ ɔmo de bɛka ho biara ɔmo de abɛka ho but mpo no yɛnkae sɛ restrictions na yɛde ma yɛ dada sɛ yɛnhyɛ mask yɛnhohoro yɛn nsa yɛntete yɛn mu no a president bobɔ so ɛnɛ no ne nyinaa ɛwɔ hɔ ɔka sɛ ɔsɛ events as much as possible no yɛnyɛ no outdoor na yɛn obey rules no nti yɛn nyinaa yɛnhwɛ ɛho so yie na mmom yɛnhwɛ na bronyan ankɔfa nsinsanso a yɛn nyinaa yɛmpɛ amma yɛ so
Mejiri se ye kama mpeni asemi doctor sometimes omo de no politician wo ye n'adwuma but omo take advice free mu a moye express no eho no mo eti sane wo kan no senka wo kakra mo wo bi kakra mo de be mama mpanina masema mibisa wi enka hu nkohia se ye beto ye bo sese megidi sa wati adverse ahoro ekoso na adwumadie we bekoso na adwumadie we bekoso se mo GMFo mu tufo a see ye no opino see ye no close door so because near ye kan no obi organize program agiska ya kire VVIP wom enti o meye na bonten wo ye ne dem no atumi agi ne sika tiki se wo se ye ton enti mo mu tufo anka mafutu ne sei
oh minia media senia me catch me patient me catch me now for my catch or mine so nyina no yedum pepe so bi a say ye nyina ye hwe ho so ye enti wo hwe na ho se ba bi a wo kɔ no emoa wa minia twesan na obekɔ akɔgye wani enne na se bi ɔkyena covid yare be so mu de denden a wo ye ho hwe anya wuti anya ya wa hwere wo nkwa wagya wo ye ne wo ma ne ade wo akire no I feel say it gets to a point that you as an individual no so no I say you take personal responsibility for your own life. And you know your body rule na mo be today. As I say, you also are responsible. Na you who say I say boy who buy na the boy bushia na the boy mind in house to. E bia o kwaju ani no kra obi so no oye de agenisika ono kra bi oye de agenisika no sa da na nipa na bodom tum na bia na wa mba obi enti no ni nyina begina ye ankasa ye be pese ye be ko program bi ne ade na ye be hwe senia yes ye be hwe ye ho so ye by avoiding massive crowds no ana de to so mienu sa wo so wo ye bibi e de apɛ osika and now they entertain obinum a ese wo kai say we are still not in normal times pandemic no wo ho enti enhyehyɛ at least for now abiding health service e de atukwan mu no ese obi a respect it saa enhyehyɛ no ese anse when this wa na so twi bi wo ho a ese o man no so tumi de ma wo
na sese doctor baby akodu kura na koye ne nipa bi so ka se edu wo hye se wa nwo pane no a baby wo hono mo a ye ma wumura ho ena bi so ka se da bi ye wo emra wo mai mu ntimtieti obi fa ahudie so anwumre yi epese oboa ye kakra wo de emra no san gbo apart from say wo ye doctor yi no ye ka public health act no a dia na ka fa vaccination ho.
Okay, Minia, the woman said, what fire Public Health Act 851 now, the year 2012 now. And we move in what we call part 2, no, and Tichemuno, the Atosu, no, a friend part 2, no. And what now, provisions and now sessions on vaccination, and what. Now, I'm said, the air course, no, minima said, enti ase na ebi obinimu nyanti ase ye ana se eye confusion bi na aba obinimu adwen mu de kan oman mu ai wo se ya Ghana no ye ya ye ti oman mu de ye friend no compulsory vaccination no ye start ye e wo oman mu rather no what is happening say ni say Ghana Health Service, the Ministry of Health, declare Sabusumi your friend of December as the COVID-19 vaccination month. Encourage Obia say on money homebody, no more paneno, no for money home buy, no for more the bush and your mining in our home buy. To say I can say dear and channel and my na Ufa a Public Health Act now. Uko Section 22. And one it talks about compulsory vaccination. We am ye in 2012 and your COVID by na ye babe. And one a manager say your public pandemic he said the woman ya minister or share health so no apomode ho nsem so no or power so obey what we call an executive instrument a betre say nipa bi a ebi omo broni we mu ana region we mu ana man ni be bia na specific places no ye de ohye say ete say e bo pane e san say pandemic no no mu na ye wo na ye ka say de sampempen so no ye ndu ye na wotie aban penimfo kasa ni bia de omo pa che ni say afefufu na e besi mu no anya saa nyoma no beba na no ba na say ebia who need the FN vaccine passport there's a want to mean show say what vaccine ni bia e be we say no public places be ni public services be of ha want to me access it and no ye under section 22 of the Public Health Act e hodo na emsa manfo bi if you say ya started yes ade no na ya started aban ne emra ni nyina kyerɛ tumi no ehye Minister of Health in sema obetumi through the executive instrument emra no or this ahye na ba na eno so no Public Health Act na aye ne sai esan say wokoye constitution na chapter 5 baby a yeka human rights nsem no 12:1 and I said the whole of 12 no 12 specific and then 14 article 14:1b and what no actually say you do some pension o man no betumi aketeli your freedoms and your rights and your liberties no because of the public health interest na your woman no it sounds like all right no chapter 5 e dey show on Saturday na emom the same chapter 5 ho no 12:2 ho no say that right now no it is also subject to the right of other persons and the public interest and now we got 14:1d ho no so a extra say who bibi to say infectious disease cry na you bet to me I can tell you liberties and you know what can public health act there no what can constitution in aboma like I say o man mra I recognize this situations like we find ourselves in called the pandemic no you are right in the interest of the public generally ne ankra bia so ne right no aban betumi invoke sa laws here wo hoyi e de keteli e hono de say na mekan no who say 22 from the Public Health Act ni we no ye ndu ye na mo Public Health Act no woko anima section 26 e hono de enjina sa section 22 compulsory vaccination ho na emom eno kire say wudu baby to say a port of entry to say Kotoka International Airport e hono de emra no aye ne say obi a friend public vaccinator say health professional doctor na say obi a ditumi na share nsa so on share vaccination no ho no wudu ho a na say ufi baby na eba ufi amano na eba uba omani mu uba bedu na when to me and show satisfactory proof and as evidence to be say you vaccinated wa sa nipa na or hwa e friend public vaccinator ojina omani no anemu ho no or to me say obe vaccinate you and yes you have they can deport you or whatever they want to do. Difference in any say the sovereign role of the people of Ghana no. Tell you obi to me infine man so no mba metietia ye fa hodi ne yemra so. Now if we are in this pandemic, na abaye hu say cases no ne kase afi abonten na eba na se wo mo ho ban a wo ba bebo ye ho ban a na sa amra no ewo ho na ye kase ano aban ejina so edi ye de oye wo airport ho no a mani nye obi ahu esan se mra no na ma aban tumi section 26 of the Public Health Act the nipa bebre nim say dada ne nyina ansa covid beba no samra yi ewo ho na Ghana de ye adwuma ena enkoba say Ghana pen use samra wo bia wetu kwan bia behu say ana obeka say ye wo card yellow bi a wo tu kwan a eta wo de ka ho de tu kwan
na yellow fever no
yellow fever na wo kokodu e bia South Africa na se wo yellow fever vaccine no ho ne ho no a ye betumi acho airport ho na wo bi ansa wewura o man ni mo saa na Ghana ha so dada ni nyina say yellow fever say enforce a ubedu ha na wo ni bia ye betumi awo bi. It is no different from what is happening now in terms of the Omanpenika and the Ghana Health Service share effective and raw together with the airport company no. It's where I hear no dear. One person about my anymore. Sabio and by force say you baby bra or my anymore. Now when yes a wo bag Ghana dear. Oba bedu ha as they say you do what the Romans do when you go to Rome. I told you I'm a so. Now, yeah, no so. It is part of Mra. And yeah, young Kwana, ya walk when it comes to international travel, me aviation. The awful wound to mean this Amra, yeah. And where you book Mudada, Public Health Act, and the thing I make a year 2012. And where you book in Mudada. And I call say, you do pen so be a so mine born who buy. Now, oh boy, so I team who buy. Enti abanse me the star clause no an section no of the act no ye adwuma enti efi and there kwei say the vaccines dey bia ba wi ase bebia Ghana ha kwa so ye wo bi ye ntina ho na obi mfa fofo mba kwae say ne oban penin kai 75% of all the patients or tested positive ye who say wo mo vaccinate here enti either so be vaccinate fully as awaba and as oba be do hard there. Now you're Ghana near your bebo because who free baby neighbor 1 year akofa bibi and now the bedroom. The difference between 26 section 26 of the Public Health Act and 22 na amount for say I said or more coming in our bomono. And then I'm a person will be who said 26 media and no say a year juma. Now 22 na compulsory vaccination media as we speak or minor. We are not doing compulsory vaccination. Now, my ban penning for Ama who say, yeah, quiet nimu, be a faithful fry, bestimu. And yes, I know my name in Abeba. You know, Moka say, Obi Anshe, no more paniano. It's time to say, or paniano enough to protect everybody. But that and Shaneba, I am not a normal shishemu. Am I ain't mean to mean can't be a woman. Now, what shall man on any idea? Maybe an exception to be womb. For example, you bet me aka say, example na me ma person obi beka say, Mr. Anna but make what is happening elsewhere. You to make us say, okay, say, maybe I will call public place. Say, about now, back now, so office be now, back home, and I say be a hospital, and I be na, back across road, be a now, quiet, you ma. The who need prove we say. Wow, vaccine now, and they want to make call. It says that you are going to put others at risk. Now, the only option about woman is say, which is the exception, is say, Wuni panel, every day and every 2 days, you be a your COVID test. You bet me a very funny, I can say, as at that time, we are safe to enter anything short of that. Maybe I want to may enter. And a person will be associated say, Public Health Act, a boy in our home by. Now, we'll call section 31 horror corner. I also know, I switch you off the way in the share in the show. And see, maybe I bet think what I can't be shot. But to Kayati or Ghana, Nibia, but where video now, okay can do opebia na how to fight and like hono emra say obi ya na adwuma ho under these conditions as they say abandi abai now ko ma wrong information and now ko obstructing adwuma hono so you betumi atwaso na if you are convicted summarily hono obetumi akọ prison bosume miensa and also say you have a fine of up to 50 penalty units. And I say, become your new album. And wait, you know, the bra while obstructing, say, money yet the vaccination as a public vaccinator. No, the woman not to us why a debia ubebudia or honosono. And also 10 penalty units, yeah, punishment every day. And be back home. And the young guy say, send I'm brana share no maybe idea you mano. Emrana also share sanctions to be aka ho ani nyina wo ye emrana mu dada parliament apase as far back as 2012 enti oman no ye nyina ye nkai se ya nya no ma ye ana ye Ghana ne na bia oba na office odo airport ho na office se bi o what na brochire kakra na wa kwa brochire enti o baba be ye de enso ania na wa baba ha system na e ba sa switch wo ho a kai say we were embrane mo
na doctor yenhwe bi so consensus nra se wuti obi ti say communications director da NDC amanyoku anu asem a wo kan se ne wo maya enchemu anwume ya hyeda ma wa maya enchemu wo public health act no mu no wa cheche yemu ebra ebeye ohye se wo fa hodie no yetimi gina mrakuni ni so kasa da bi nipa dodo no ho hu hienti no wo fa hodie no hade mane ntwere ha ne emoye ho banyansa ebi so dia omo kasa ne America communications director idie se public health act na mu no kire bre no a nipa no so a wode vaccination ne man no omnu so tumi gina bibi so kasa da bi we de menye hwana na pomuden hwana eduro na wode manipa no wo dwene ho se eye ya hyeda ya nhwehwemu bi ewo mu a edi mu no say ye fa sa vaccine ya enhwehwemu a ewose ye dodo no ye ntumi nye nuru ho nipa no betumi ama argument bi so say
unfortunately public health act no the one more kasa no no media me hu bibi sa wo that mom the woman ne say a doctor ni a okura ne license say otumi based on saying I show as a patient, maybe an test to be a why maybe be a why. Or who said there's a reason via a young medically sound. A chair say that person is unfit for the vaccine at that time. And he was certified and then Sasha say and the stamp is one. And no, you can be exempted. I hope the American maybe what me say. When a doctor has declared you medically unfit to take a vaccine, that be
abusia Dr. Efra Homano so yebo moden ensaka na ye ne no ebeto aso na enchemu a ewo mu no watumi ede amaya ma wunipa kro se wo ye ade no a wahu se ade no a wo ye no emra so ewo magi mu ene emra no medical ka se yebekom na yahwe se emra no a ebon ye nyina chidom no se fa wapomuden ho se vaccination ehwo no eno ena yeka Dr. Justice Yansena oye lawyer ni osaso eye Dr. Penny onde baabia ni nimde no ewo honomo na yenko yemra kuni ni so emu na sane Dr. Edikan acheche yemu bi ama yehu sane ene hello doctor
Hello.
Aha, Doctor Asan aba ahoma no so. Doctor na o kire ye mu efa baby a obi betumi aka se we de we de menye we de wo se meje.
And I make a say, Osha Emranimwa, Public Health Act, no. Exemption a woman, a bra, doctor near the license, the BBI, Juma, where few now I am in 50 million now, not ordinary such a cat as to say, you are medically unfit to take the vaccine. A hopper na media Emrano, me who say, say exception the war. Na se bi anya se wako jina baby abo wutrimu eka se media se enu dia mi hu ye.
Na doctor wo hwe enure dodo a bedu o my Ghana mu a wo mampanin kasa ye mu no wa kire se enei se enuro no ye obi beka so o na bi ni ha ye almost 17 million e wo mayi mu na nipa 6 million na agye enti se 6 million na agye ne wo be 17 million e wo mayi mu a ebre nso se ne wo ka se ohye aman bia ye no ohye no ebre nso se ye no ohye man nipa agye because enuro no me gidi se expiring date wo mo ebedru brebi no ebetumi expire
And na me bi kan say bibia no eye chese ne emre. Edi kan Ghana Health Service Ministry of Health ye ka say boshuma friend December almost COVID-19 vaccination month. I just oboko important baby a wo mo. They say they more encourage and crofo or more educating crofo. Say out of your own free will no. Brother Beje, I didn't be your ho. Febo ho buy, Febo busu ho buy, na Febo yen na ho buy. But a koko dum pempen should be to say I yet to say anya afefufu no no anya omode enhye bi beba utie ama aban penimfo ne health service penimfo na they have given us that intention enti no say ebeye necessary a na so mo ka say wo mu gina section 22 of the Public Health Act omudika eta say mra no ma wo mo sa atumi no.
Doctor ma emfa unsi ana ene mampanin kasa mu waka bibi se o ye safe obi atumi wo ye safe obi atumi wo eno so na toda na nipa bi esuro no mo betumi aka hye Ghana fo nkran se eduro no video mo keka na ekrotu moja na ye den no enimu sa
no kura wo mo ne say vaccines no ete say eduro bi aye no te say para ne ade nyina wo stop para ana malaria draw ana bebia wo hwe ho abetumi aka say o ebia side effects, but all those things are within tolerable limit as far as medicine is concerned. They say wabo panie bi ebia panen bebia de bo won sa ebia hoye o ya kakra sa ada no ebia esa wo bi kakra tigu ho o so ana so ho ye kakra onum para bi ade achen ya na ho ato. They said the enkwala ye do omukọ child welfare clinic ye can way no. Ukona ye bo omupane a na net for na catch so sada no akwala na isusu ana no ho ye che amane para bi ni ade no. All those things are normal. They say in terms of medicine there ye nim say any problem. And this which no Omano, as part of your health service delivery, no Ministry of Health, any Food and Drugs Authority, I will be a friend of adverse drug events. So report about vaccines, your adverse events following immunization and vaccination, and also the same criteria. And there be 1.6 million ya na. Yaji data se ba se obi se we hu bibi ana bibi aye no ana bibi a ni nyina wo ho so far there data no the aba ni nyina 6 million no sebio yanti so obi akọ panel na wu yanti so obi akọ panel no ma ebi a ne be ma enye adwuma ana so on to me enwo ana bibi It is answer na as a conspiracy theorist no more Canadian information na omemu ha kra ewo no and support sansem no. And information na ewa manone a yesu ye nima ayakan no and so and support it. And science na ngasa so a yesia no and so support sa conspiracy theories no. And to me there as a doctor ni and as somebody who has taken the vaccine na me hu the ekos wo mind mu no betumi aka say and sem na yetete no ne kase ana ne nyina na enye no kre
doctor me
obo a ebeboa
you
panel no obo a ebeboa
yeda say doctor me mfonsi anwume na ye na wasepa Abusia Dr. Justice Yansen na yenna twetwen komo General Secretary Ghana Medical Association na medical de to wanim say Advocate for Christ Ghana eyekuo bi a omoso no omo womoso de omo kanko ewo sa COVID-19 vaccine yi eho ma menkwa homaso na owura chasopon oka Advocate for Christ Ghana executive member mpo Japan majo
nya
Afisha paso you na Advocate for Christ Ghana no ekuo benya
Advocate for Christ Ghana a peaceful age my of discipline team and I can one and I say a member so the Yaju any execution and did it so you can be Emma and
Intimo near efa or mine ho eka bibia ho sane e wo kan nyenya mesem nko amammuo ni bibia ka ho eti sa COVID-19 vaccine yi empane amamfo we no mo se de na mo wo fa ho
yeah that's it. Ghana from March 12, 2019, I had COVID-19. Adom, you use social distancing, no mask, any natural immunity. Okay, if you have Omunya be now about 99%. Almost just around 1%. Me can say, and vaccine, and you know, one you bet me, area boy home bank. If you say a big vaccine, minimum, you see, ma, you know, compulsory, saying I can, you did 13 public workers, health workers. Car commercial drivers from January 2022. Someone have vaccinated that. So the civil, the human we are, only more common say, yes, see, we encourage social distance, any nose mask, any vaccine. Vaccine to the entire, to say, who say, abandon the court. Influence not in time for Funasa almost now, not from other work. Now, the one you stand up and say, beyond the world, won't mean need man. And also the however, and any idea, idea, the years are what make a currency, minimum, the ancient of food, in time, the vaccine, because on the
na sa Ghana ye nyina yetie ya hu sane mpanimfo abode wuro mommewo sesei wutie nkontabu eda abonten a enuro no kane ne na ye yenya bi na abrofo impeso mbema ye no mafa na abrofo isi o ye ene mommeje mo chefa sesei 17 million ene ye wo ewo mayimu nipa ye wo mayimu so pipi aduasa ba ko a na enuro no yanya 17 million nipa awo empane no eye 6 million the uba no so ekoso enti opani se ye bodewuro no nipa mewo eduro no so no ebreda ho ebese ye a wo gidi se ne yenka no enye social distancing ne other protocols no na emom vaccination ne de yenya nipa ne bewo a wonwo a ye ma ne ntena ne ba bi na nuro ne nsei
we say doses no double doses. It's 70 million doses na one of the so calculate here to give fully vaccinated, it's about 8 million people. It is also we are compulsory vaccinations now. It's just not feasible because any biaka na obviously any biawo. If you say bomb in Christ area and yashe in mass vaccination. Any juma pa if you need to say they also mass vaccinations na mass vaccinations na vaccinations one the best na ama woman working because any obia kra na obenye bi if you go by the compulsory vaccination need
me nwanwa kakra mi so pon me ka say bi amomo argument kura ne se o ye ntachire mu obi anwo ba sa mugitu mu se o nipa ewo na munya wo mo nwo obi an konkwaji a ene na nya nwanwa se empanimfo se yemfa kwan a ebema dodo no anso awa mo se no so yente ase because ene wo kan se dodo na age atum no mo wode a ene se nkamra no po beto nom se wonwo ya ya ma nwura ha se ya ne nkamra no kura nka nchi obi ya ana
dabi o the video so one wo battle ya wona woni se na wa pomu sense na se ka se yema okwana umbe yima ewo Adom ne bia wo so ni se wo hwe na wa pomu na ade owa bia be how wanu edina abo no but you say enya vaccination so mpona obeti be bo ban wo kwejima ye be take picture wo kwejima wo show no smart but over share na bia 90% of the staff of Adom not on wow. That's the point you are making. If you say Takana, yeah, almost rebuild, they are almost sure what to do. Me and Jinato, me and Kate, they are with Oma, almost big Johnny, Yajuma, no money beginning. But young and casual now only other alternatives means. But as many as would want to take it, why not? It's almost 60%.
Me so upon minim research kron hwehwemu kakra modi kan ya enti mo atiasimu ewo sa da uboi eho efise ne ewo kan se bia na me na me de me ho na minim se ne mapomuden city enti no me gidi se bi kura meji a emwa me wo emremu no emra ye de ye adwuma efa ya pomuden Public Health Act no ho no se wo reason bi sei na chese nunti enwo sa woji a eno no kita ho ahyenso de apomuden ebia wo doctor atwera ma wa obi ani hono mu obetumi ahye wo twan eno no eye ne edikan na wo kan asem bi so se wo mo a omunya yade ni bi no dodo na ye hwa dodo na ho ato won sa wo hwehwehwemu a apomuden panimfo edi aba nipa nya yade ni bi a wo ho to wo dodo na ayo mo a oma bopane no ene omunya yade ni bi omo ho adwo wo mo enti mo de research na mo de ye adwuma.
But second statement now we is omunya ya na omoto no omwa abopanye ni bi me assure say enya Ghana asem na wo
Ghana asem na making
in fact the wo Ghana to you as late as April this year now vaccination is not even by so the percentage was still around 98-99 recovery. If the energy they cannot supporting papa.
Opening Delta ne ba ye mu no sa third wave ne ba ye no dodo a omunya bie ya omukwa ya sabia omu hoto wo mo no according to doctors no na dodo na ye omu a vaccination no ya vaccinate omo e na omo hodwo omo dodo na an survive no e yo omo a na omo nwoye e no nche ye
the same say in Ghana and me yem nkokupi ya sebisibio omo nya ya ni na omo wo vaccine is somehow so they say I will face as late as October this year. That's all. In fact, we check 3rd December. Not total doses. Young minister was around 5 million doses. If you think that we are doing 2 doses majority, that means less than 3 million at 3rd December have been vaccinated. And 30.8 million. Adult population around 70 million. It doesn't stand. It doesn't support the data say in fact,
majority dodo na.
In fact, the evidence almost catching almost underlying conditions. Now, Ghana, Madam Dukuli. You almost underlying conditions now. Almost demonstrated disease. They were one of the first people put in the vaccination. So I don't think there is a strong resistance against vaccination in this country. But we also don't think that we should stretch it such that students 15 years and above from January and all teachers must be vaccinated before they go to school. I mean, that's the stretching it. You see,
enti mo de ne se mo de mano ka che mpanimfo se omo hwe ni ya na se mo de nkrata bi kwa na se mo de ne sen
sisi ade the UCS president in the national area who said the emphasis on all the approaches, vaccination, social distancing, nose masking. In fact, I don't know whether I missed it, but I didn't even hear him this evening talking about compulsory vaccination. I think we are aligned on that line. We should keep doing what we have done in the past, but to stretch it to students 15 years in school to be vaccinated before next academic year, public workers, if you're not vaccinated, you can't go to work. I think that's a little bit stressful because you see, in the villages and all those things, we have public workers there. What about them as well? You see, I say actually,
enti mo edu se yese abayi osha mo de na mbaye
osha in fact as we are discussing the government is listening. As I said, though the health the Ghana Health Service or your statement that this president's statement was very appealing, and I'm sure say people who say Ghana for responding. And I want us to continue on that instead of compelling children to get vaccinated, especially boarding schools where parents may not be there and all these kinds of things. So we will keep talking, we'll keep appealing, and I'm sure that leaders will hear and understand where we are coming from. We are not against vaccination, but we are saying that we are continue with getting people to respond, and I think we'll be successful. It will be smooth, less destructive, economic life will go on, and we'll have the success that we need. I don't think the first vaccination will give us the success that we need. I know that we think that the vaccines will expire, but I believe that will be the first vaccination that we can even administer other vaccines. If people do the mass vaccination, we can administer other vaccines that we have, because if you look at 17 million, we only need to do 8 million.
You. And keep talking na yenhwe ni ebesi akire Japan.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Abusia advocate for Christ Ghana for no. And wo say me obi anye no wo hye. Na ye besre ya hwefo a mo hwe Facebook ene Facebook no ene otwa no ho a nti mo de be che yen na YouTube de edemu a ekoten eti wo hwe YouTube anad wadwenche no ato ho mekenkai de ama Facebook no so afei na etumi aba enti ne wo de bi eto ho no mo a ye bekenkai ama mampani nsem no so a wo kan ye ni nyina no ye be yine mako na Kingsley Adese mesrew ABY ka kire opon se wonya se wo mislead Ghana for no nensam no a wo ka na menyi ni se nam kwa mu ena Lati Daniel so se wo hwe free sunwane buno mantemu ena Samebo achese on the omo delegate conference na nani abre ho dendendende Isaac Mensa si ABY misopon onyai no mislead Ghana for ose mi UK ena mede madwenche no efri eba eda se wo so wadwenche ya wode aba ene YouTube so madwenche mode aba ewo honomo ebi live on YouTube so ene adwenche no ebi aba honomo na sene medical ede atudwa no mampani na nado ene ensem a ene wode atudwa no yedi kan abobobobo su bia ese mampani amiate ase buronyan wo a wadwen so obebodwa wo beto party ube ni bibi ni yenya ne dem ye na abonten enko bodwa wo dem abonten kakra bi no aye no wo hono na esem frama nammu emfa nkohye dem emma nipa no mo kasa mframa e fantasy a mutie nyina etwa ne ho na ewura mo mfefuo mu mo be wiase na omicron wo se dabi ma emodwa bia e wo dan bia mu munye no monten ni edi ho omenya hye so no mo anamo ka ne ebebie mampani se woguso wo monitor na empempenso aye wom ne bra ye wom nya bra ye bie boda enti boda no still cruise wo matum wo mie ne sabre nya de se obie ne sabre yi a ebeyi ana akwantuo mu de no so no enam di ka de tudwa ne sei wiemhyen bia wode obi ebeba oman Ghana mu se wode ne firi oman bensuo se ye oman bensuo se nipa no a wode wo ba no yeyi nipa no ne ehu se obi vaccinate ye ena mafa na tena wiemhyen no mu hu na mode na bedru Ghana se wiemhyen kro no ye ebo mo ka $3,500 nipa no so onya de ni bedru Ghana na ye test ne ehu pa se nipa wei wo bi a wiemhyen kro de ba ne abane abebo mo ka na wo nipa kro no so a wode yade ne ba ye no se wo ye Ghana ni a ye quarantine wo yakohwe yade na ko se wo ho bedwo sa wonya Ghana ni so ne ye quarantine wa sika bi e wo se otua no ebefiri botom na aba na se wo ye Ghana ni na wo ba ana se wo mfiri omayi mu na wo ba na wo ba na wo nwo pane no so a kotoka wiemhye gina be ho no mo ene Public Health Act no eno na Dr. Jansen kan ye no emra ma ho kwai se wo mu a omugina airport honom no ye be ma vaccination no ye be wo pane no ansa no wate asimu akọ wo a wo tu kwa free wo man Ghana mu akọ ba bia no e wo sa hyenso de kire se COVID-19 pane no wawo no wunya na wo de kire pepepepepepe ansa na waja mu akọ mampani se wahye boso wo bebo Ghana fo ho ban e wo COVID-19 ho woda so a ejina mu ese bohye no obekitam na afie atwa muo yedi buru nyane wie ye no mampani kire se yade no bosom yedi kan ne bosom ye toso mienu ye January and February no yade no ko soro afi won pese beko ne sa enu nti no wo ka se mu a mu bebodwa mu a mu ne mabusua behia mu nyina no se kai se COVID-19 no ewo honom COVID-19 no enkoye enti maska na mahye mask social distancing munye ena bomode senka wadwa bo no po no wo ye party bia nipa no eba no make sure say omo eba nyina no o ma vaccinate se nipa no onwo opane ni bia enka mane mmam emfa ne yade bia emesa am ho no mo eti so obebodwa data bia mampani requirements yo senka ade ka ho anke beboa wo eno no so bia momoden se COVID-19 enuro no abusu chapo ewo man Ghana mu bronu bia wo tokuro bia wo hyem Ghana no se wo kasa wo pepane ni bia wa ubenya ne ehiansa ya sabia bia ben wo no wo bekọ ho no mo enye sa akura nansen ene ensori wo po asori abe se esiwachi enwumam ne ye de aduru ho no mo mampani se bomaden se ubewo bie na omo enenam omo kana wo aduro nu a anhwe ye bedan wadwene ama ebi ato ama MPP amanyoko no se ebi nsem no se COVID-19 vaccine no anhwe ye na se wogi a wobeba abetai MPP amanyoko no achi wose we nya de a chese wo se nipa ka edi chechiri emani ye yosi we propaganda ebi mada omo si o na mo wa ahwe ya no makoto ama MPP ne makoto ama MPP no mampani si eno de enya de se nokure bia ewomu enya de se nokure bia ewomu eti obia en mosa nsem no enwu na amanfo so bisa ena nuro no amena oni de nko a ena ye agye ena Ghana de ne yentumi nye bi wo abra nimdifo ha mampani se na nsenya na kwantuo yi okoye no wakonya sika anase emmoa 82.5 million euros sem na make sika wakonya no na sa sika no a wanya no wodi mu 20 million euros no euros 20 million ba beboa na yede asi National Vaccine Institute eno yesuku mtete bia mpadimfo wadwen se wopese osie na nhwehwemu fasa nyaabo ahodo atupiti ensa yade ne sa ne men no yetumi yemu nhwehwemu tumi penure betumi dia so ano oso de 20 million euros na eso asene amasa ntete bia no watumi abie ewo omai Ghana mu eti na chese enyese bia yede yatene yensa da bia yegemoa ye moaboa ye hu bi osimpadimfo aboaboa wo ho ya wode sa sika iso beso asene ama eniema atumi akonanim pepepepepepepepe eti abusua ne mampani ka ye no ne tofobo emu abi eno no wodie wo mu a na wafa ne ebeboa wo wodie wo mu a na ese wafa ede atu botom na bronyai party bia wo be ya de bia wo be ye no no amani ada honomo se obi ekobi ke be ya nka asem no enchi a wo amane de ne a adwabo no omogbo no se wa wo hwe na hu so se adwabo we de ehia se mekọ honomo a enka ada ne be yi ankada ka ada na se be yi a enkada efise wo kwei no wa hwe yi a ne obeso aba no wo mpe etiwei eye futuo ena mampani diaba boko Ghana ni bia ensum Gabi Adujemfi ose mehwe mo papa Gabi yeda se wo hwe yen ene ose edemu a wo hwe Cynthia Mieso o message no aba abedru ewo YouTube live yedemu ewo honum Facebook so yetumi aba eti yedemu ewo ho adwenkyere na wode aba no ni agebre na yakenkan ede amawo na mamimie ehoma no entum ebra du so mie ehoma no entum na menkai wo se Guinness Ghana Limited en ye bronyai ensa hodo a ebehye fridge mu no se wo soma hoho de a se sei eye ketua binti adwabo no wobebo ne ketua bi wo fie emfichie ba bi no aye no ho na mfra ma efa mo ho a ensa no a wode be serve no Guinness ene eye bright Guinness eye bold Guinness eye gold Guinness Ghana Limited wadama en wode abadwa so ugibia omoka eduro apomudin mu na wode enamo no ma me hwese frefo di kan ba hello eja wudin ni ba bia frefre
aja ni moni mi ka se ko fanko beria
yo aja ni mo
anya dia ma min che ni pa mienu mi ensa bi wa na me enko manim e che mo fa ja ko former energy minister na ma tata to school ana Johnson Kufuor Kobia ana Canada moa dia mi ka nyina ni se ade no enye Ghana hanko na yehuna mane o ewu we yehuna mane ba Ghana ye tachi nye dodo yenye we sana mo ha ban no wo dia se yare bo se si aban ya na akofia edi sika sa hwewo bo panie no na ho ntowo a wo se mo nti mo fa mra bi ma wa mo panie ne yanchew bye bye
yada se ejanimo hello
everyone
ejam pacho din ni ba bia frefre
eleke afa
yo efo to asoma
you akuma program ntini wo you reception one am no kasai you ya be hu ni asi wo studio
yo
everyone to de bi na eya we hu me wura hu papa asi ni pa ya wo me ba wi asi ene na me wura hu papa ya uni ni kasa asesi ya yi se sa ni pa we no mu trust wo Ghana mu ma Ghana hu nto no everyone ni no kasa asesi ya uko countries bi wo mu trust ya
vaccine ebi no 80%, 75%, 90%. Ghana afei ya 2.5%. Na se mu betra si na mu ebi why. Ye nyina tena si wo Ghana ha. Ana vaccine ebi ma ye Ghana for NDC for sorry ye. Ena akufa do pese ku Ghana for unfa ade ni ma afei ade ni so aba. Mo amu sai twamu asa betra si ena mu ka se ena ade no we wo abeso wo. De mu ye no mu pese mo ka che Ghana for so mo mu wo paneɛ no. Eno ana mu ka no. Enti de mu ye no eyem wasi hwɛ Christian masa unja mu se hu na mu di wo Ghana no. Ade na ekoso no ko South Africa no ko se de we nipa wo yare we na aban ni nia ni nia se obeboa ni ye so ade we anu amu ni nam na wo apese wo ye se wo apese we se na ko pon ma ni nchi omu nyina wo mu kasa no mu ba
fesi ho hello ejampa cho din ni ba bia frefre
ibi anyam chi na why
on sha so
we mun kai Jonas
yo mun kai la mienti o
ibi wa me das but I catch up with you and say I can't be here and budget then I won't see yes wa ma me fa kunye na minka lawyer just good ya na minka yeah ona buta global any Dominic idia maybe why me catch Ghana for say in this for come and then they do be every you and propaganda ben the state say e ho kaniena Okoto mama MPP. Everyone to read that. Everyone. Ghana democracy I attract. Democracy that tra and that Daniel some money. I yani ko for say. No man pay bre. Okaya ebi obekaya. Tama vacancy yenya do no. And this is for this emergency. Yeah. Tebe no man yo ha. Okofa din so aba ni ye pe measure say about for one so most are free ye the by force so am the be court and ye is the human right everywhere the same thing the LGBTQ e ko parliament ko face the be na ko for the pressure legalize intermediate is straight Ghana for say but I see for this for ya nyom yen so para see for and this idea COVID we ko for the so wa Mahama kasa kura wo COVID do me I was there on that day. Until me strength na for me keep propaganda dia ye yankwa. Ti yanko wo job na ye ntina fiche. Sabi woti nkwamu a sabi akufado enye we busuani no but ye responsibility of constitution dia born dia to say ongo ye ho ban eno na monyi. Ya me sure me
on sure so hello
everyone.
Ejampa cho din ni ba bia frefre
Zefite my family John.
Yo John mienti o
Ejampa cho misma chunche ni se Ghana ha no mo ye wo ye di bidu ho no ma betim dey treat COVID. Anso ni na FDA approve nso ye no asem ye nti won hwu bi me. Eno so pacho mo ye won den.
Yo eno ho na mampani kan se research na we no mo di sika 20 million na ebe ye ho adwuma na se na ye wo ka no bibidrofo no so no ye beti won ne ahwe ne yesi achi wa
ani mu be bo Ghana fo ne mo chen yigide wo aba ne mo chen vaccine ni mo
yeah that's it hello
Nyame asumije enkamo anyibiwe papa
enkan so nana Mohammed enkan
mo bojuma papa
yo to asoma yen
mame aseto mo di law adi to ho adi we bai mo se wo ka wo pani ne pe na se wo ka da ho na wo kan ka twa di da won tan ya yire bi fi so ba da won tan ni yan to wa me ko wo pani we charge ma charge ne de de ra pe me kura ka numero ya di ya na me try he Ikra na ye juma papa.
Nana Mohammed.
Ati.
Also wo pan na asie.
Meko wo say so we di ba ne o. Ye mi no so ka wo pe. O ka da ho na se o langa joda won chen a. O yire be fi se o langa joda won chen. Eti na mi ye mi hye me. Ana me ya me ye tim na me ka wo yi. Meko wo wie da de na me se me na hwe ade. Me charge ya ma obi kura ka me yire kura ka se me mfade bi na me bai. I'm saying yes, sir. And what dinner, I mean, you be count. Yeah, propaganda.
Yeah. Oswanya Memedru. Hello.
Hello.
Mpacho dini baby afrifri o.
Edu amere brakwa kufufi akosia.
Yo, brakwa kumpacho mienti o.
Edu ai Ghana franka menti ebini mwase. Yeah, Ghana card the same thing normally politics bebre and as we actually say amount for zero Ghana card. The same thing. By say yeah by yeah would. Yeah, can send we say.
Hello, Brakwaku. Hello. We're free, so. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Ejam pacho dini baby
You
afrifri.
about that student calling me.
En council din.
You are many konya de uni age microphone. Many konya mama chia chumbere ma oba first vice chairman. Obi parents will be also back the secretary. Then of command many so ba chairman region.
Bra to asoma me wan yes campaign mu nyai. To asoma.
You Ghana man penny abaso. Shebi wa uji say e be ya ba ya. You are seeing now ko si atene. Ghana for na da be na duro ba. Da be na duro ba. A drop by Sianco Wa and Copo sorry, Samuel Sofo, my Cofon and sorry, Cobo. The best Ghana for. On Penny Kufa, Nifia with the Yonabu Ghana, I'm going to buy a branch. Oh, see, the family by him. They are real to the same of Payabo, carry scalp, a tribute area. Cofa Coda Hospital, Yagamin account. I got out a car play boy. I call Panini in the Fansa area. So what would be with Tikopai. Everyone may call me Paniano. Who was saying I made them at the exam, Master just fine. I say baby I'm going to see and everywhere. And what no cross I charge him was me of Fanica. Everywhere, you saw your company and I'm a pretty good bottle. I think Ghana phone. I hope we share. I don't make so many more bigger for.
Onsha so ebusia yemfa munsia wo hu. Yemfa frefo no ensia na ye namase. Ye kan mo so ye dwumadie bia ye be kamfo e wa fidie so e de amawo no. Ne ye hwe e wo bronya imu ne say COVID-19 protocols no e hyase so omu bedi so